On my own location, we're here at A&G Ohio 2013. I'm here with Gwendolyn Yo.
Hi, I'm good. I'm doing really good.
So, how did you get started in the entertainment industry?
I left home around 16 to go to college, and my dad's a doctor, my mom's a dental assistant, and everyone was on this math science track, an older brother and sister, and I just knew in my heart that it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I went to UCLA, and I did a couple of pageants. The first one was the Miss Teen Chinatown San Francisco pageant that helped to pay for some college, and then I went on to win Miss Asia America and Miss Chinatown USA. So it was great for to be self-supporting in that way, and it sort of opened my way into getting a commercial agent and then a TV agent and doing movies and stuff. Yeah.
Tell us about the musical side of your life and how you got started there.
Well, like most Asian families, I was forced to play an instrument, which was the piano. And but then I saw something called the Chinese zither. So I was like, this is kind of hot. So I started playing both at the San Francisco Conservatory of Music. So I graduated with a diploma in piano. Yeah.
You did touch on the Miss Asian America and Miss Chinatown USA. How were the experience for these contests?
They're amazing. I mean, I started with a teen pageant where I was like, I'm retarded. I was such a dork, seriously. And then I was shocked when they called my name. I was like, oh my God. And when I won, I went like this. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh, nice.
People were like horrified. I was like, oh my God, where's my money? Give me $1,000. And then Miss Asia America, I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to be a beauty queen. Oh my God. And when I won Miss Asia America, Miss Talent, and Miss Congeniality, I was like, this is amazing. And then by the time I won Miss Chinatown USA, I was like, I'm doing this for the cold hard cash. I'm like, let's do this. So that was like the biggest pageant. And each one is different. The teen one I was so young and like wide-eyed, and I was such an ugly duckling that it made me feel like a beautiful girl, and that felt really good, especially for a person of color. And Miss Asia America, I felt like a beauty queen, and Miss Chinatown USA, I was like, I got this, and this is serious. Like, I want to do something in the business to do with speaking and performing and all of that, yeah.
You worked on the hit show Desperate Housewives. How was that being a part of that great cast?
It was incredible. I mean, there's nothing like it. I remember my first day, Eva Longoria and Marsha Cross. We were in the van together, and they were both like, just kicking back. And the van pulled into Wisteria Lane. I was like, Wisteria Lane! And they were like, oh, honey, it's so sweet. You know what I mean? And then another train rolls by, and we all wave. You know what I mean? Universal Studios.
They were like, okay, you're the new one.
Yeah, you're the new one. I was like, oh my God! They're like, calm down. But the women were amazing. And Eva was just all fun. And her husband was really great to me. And my storyline was a lot with them. And anyway, when my arc was done, Mark Cherry actually submitted me for an Emmy nomination, of which I was really honored. Yeah.
And you also was on the show Chuck, where you were an assassin, correct?
Yeah, I was a Chinese spy, Cho Mei Ling. That was the episode Chuck versus a sizzling shrimp.
Easy to remember.
And I was a waitress in a Chinese restaurant. Surprise! And it turns out that I'm a Chinese agent spy who's trying to rescue her brother. I'm totally spoiling the whole thing, but rent it and go see it. Yeah. Yeah, and Zachary Levi was amazing, and Yvonne was such a sweetheart too. We went to see Wicked together, but Zach was just how he comes across, really sweet, funny, kind, bright. Yeah, it's really cool.
When working on voice acting, do you feel that your live acting helps within the booth? With your voice acting help with your live acting?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, voice acting is completely I see no difference, to be quite honest with you. If anything, if you're doing something that's like a feature, like I did Iron Man and Dead Space, it's where you're acting like in a close-up. Whereas if you're doing something more cartoony, it's almost like you're acting in a medium shot. Okay. And then if you're just doing I don't know, it just depends. You never really go wider than a medium shot. Okay. It also depends whether you're doing, anime or you're doing a video game. All the tones change. But at the end of the day, it's all acting to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your mindset is, what shot is it? And then you go from there.
It's interesting, yeah. Sometimes it's a shot. Sometimes it's posture.
Okay.
Like on Star Wars, I do Nala 8 feet tall. She's Kaminoan, and she's her lips are just small, so she talks like this. She's like big, and she towers over people. So sometimes it's like an external. You can enter a character in many different ways. You can enter it, through external posture, through just acting, or sometimes it's instinctive, or you look at a picture and you're inspired. There's many ways to get into character, but to separate TV and voice acting, I mean, of course, you're working with the mic, so you're working straight, and you don't have to memorize your lines, etc., and you have to work the mic. But in the end, it's all about the truth and all about entertainment and all about really finding like where the character is from. So I see really no difference. Yeah.
Well, this is Anime on Location, so tell us about your work on Zatch Bell and other animation projects like Stitch.
Oh my gosh. So, if believe it or not, I played Grandma on Stitch, who's in her early hundreds. And I'm like, oh, Stitch, thank you. Like, I mean, that's really her voice. And but I love it. I was like, I'm playing someone 80. Oh my god. That was really fun, and it's a little bit more relaxed vibe when you're doing anime, and I know the guys really well. So, you know, they just call me and I'll go in for a couple hours, and it's always a blast. And to watch, and with anime, sometimes you have the luxury of watching to picture. Yeah. So sometimes that's helpful. Sometimes it's actually more mathematical in terms of trying to get into the pockets and matching the lip flaps. Yeah. You're dubbing or you're redubbing or whatever. So that's, you know, it's cool. And I love the show. Lilo and Stitch is really fun. Zatch Bell, I had to do a lot of running. Like, I was this like girl that was like being always like in a love affair, so she was always like running like and then like down the stairs. It was like more stairs. I was like there was just a lot of running.
Now, when you're working on X-Men as Domino,
Yeah.
how was it working with a great cast as well as other great people you got to work with on the show?
It was probably my top 5 projects of all time. Okay. I mean, voice, TV, everything. I mean, I met Liam O'Brien on there, where he directed me Resident Evil. I met, you know, Stephen Bloom, who he taught me how to, you know, prep me for this convention. Tara Strong is a friend, and I mean, you know, Jennifer Hale, Carrie Walgren, all these voiceover people that I truly, deeply respect. It was kind of filmed like an old school radio play, yeah, and not filmed but recorded like an old school radio play, and like we were just acting this out, and we were all there. It was about 15 people in there. But then when we're ready, we're like, go kill you now. So it was really, really fun, and I keep in contact with most of all of them till now. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had, and the Marvel guys like Craig Kyle. Greg Johnson, and Jamie Simone, like everybody was so into it. We were just like, let's make this movie. It just felt like a movie. It felt like a real awesome cast. I had fun. Yeah.
We're recording on the hit Final Fantasy X2. What was it like knowing it was such an iconic franchise in the world of gaming?
That was actually, I think, one of my first few games that I just started with, and Jack Fletcher, you know, I was so honored, you know, took a chance on me and brought me in, and because Katara and Hetty, the Y and the R, had been working a lot more than me, the P, at that time. So, and I went in and I didn't realize how huge it was. I didn't realize other games you just do like 1 or 2 sessions. This was like 50, I don't know, we shot for a year. It was so incredible because it was down so specific as, can you feel a hurt? Can you feel a hurt? Can you feel the hurt? Like, you know, so specific, and I love working specifically. And she's kind of a wry, like, what's the problem? And there's a part of me that really is like that. You know, if I don't like eat enough protein, I just kind of like get like pain. I'm like, is there a problem? Can you get me some eggs? So yeah, it was the bomb. It was awesome, and people just lost their minds when the game came out. And it's actually coming out again this year. It's being re-released in HD, Final Fantasy X and X-2. Stay tuned. Yeah.
Another popular game out there is Resident Evil. Tell us about your role as Four Eyes.
No, Four Eyes. Four Eyes. Liam O'Brien directed me in that. Capcom produced it, and it was a blast. I mean, I wasn't. You know, I'm not a humongous gamer, but Resident Evil followers they go berserk. It was amazing. The response was incredible. So it was cool because when I played her, she had a sense of like, you know, pain for Final Fantasy in her, but she was just like a geneticist that loves blood. Like, she's one of those people like that likes, you know, like 6 Feet Under. Like, she likes to be like a mortician. Like, she loves that stuff. You know, suck that blood, get that blood sample. She's fearless, and she's kick ass. So it was a joy to play her. Yeah.
And what about your experience with SOCOM 4 and the work with the motion capture?
Wow, it was my first and only time working with motion capture. Yeah, and we did that. Oh my gosh, on and off for 2 years in Sony Soundstage in San Diego, and it was such a learning experience because it was Nolan North and Matt Del Negro and me, and Matt and I were the two leads, and it was the first time they used a female lead for this game. So I felt some pressure, to be as kick-ass. And, doing the motion capture stuff, like, they would have stand-ins and guys, and they would just build something. They're like, we're going to careen off that rope, and then we're going to jump there and do a roll, and then, like, do a knife kick. And I was like, what? And all the dudes were like, no problem. You get there 8 a.m., they have half-hour break, and then you leave at 5, and you're there, and the next day, like for 3 or 4 days, memorizing these scenes and working this stuff out. And it's so cool because you're actually wearing headsets and your whole body, so you're acting with your entire body from head to toe. And it's just, I could just be speaking at this level or this level. It just was awesome. And the technology that they used, they actually capture the shot, the entire volume first, and then they cut the shots. Usually in movies, they already have all the shots planned out. And if you screw up the shots, you're like, damn, I should have gotten that shot. But this technology is unbelievable. But if you shoot in volume, you can actually create the shots afterward, which I thought was sick.
So actually a full body shot for this one.
Full body shot.
Any other current or upcoming projects you'd like to talk about this time that you can talk about?
Let's see. Well, I have a movie came out last year. Now it's on Netflix and Amazon and Best Buy. It's called Heathens and Thieves, of which is a live action of which I'm attached to. What else is coming out? Final Fantasy is coming out in HD later this year, and I'm playing the lead, one of the lead villains in Fuse that Insomniac Games is doing, and her name is Maylin Mao. There are a couple other things that I can't talk about. Yeah. I gotta stay tuned.
Anyway, fans can keep up with you on the internet, Facebook, Twitter, and a final message for your fans.
Yeah, at Gwendolyn Yo. And my Facebook, what's my Facebook? www.facebook.com/Gwendolyn Yo official fan page. Oh, okay, great. Oh, sorry. What do I want to say to my fans? Well, thank you so much for, being so sweet. My fan base is humble, but people have sent me gifts and like kind messages when I've been sick and helped me put together like cool graphics, and some of them have come to this convention for me, and it means the world. And sometimes when I'm feeling a little low and I go online and I see like a supportive message, I feel connected and less alone and happy and proud of what I do. So during the down days, you guys really pick me up. So thank you so much.
Gwendolyn, thank you so much for coming on Anime on Location with us.
Thank you for having me.